before warfare involved high-speed travel and easily maneuverable units, nations defended their territory with huge fortifications, particularly their coast and harbors, like if a nation owned the finest harbor in the Orient. This was the case for the American port at Manila Bay. After the U.S. acquired the Philippines during the Spanish-American War, the U.S. Board of Fortifications called for better fortifications, leading to the development of defenses on several islands at the mouth of Manila and Subic Bays. One of these islands, Fraile, would later become Fort Drum, America's concrete battleship. Construction on Fraile began in 1909 and was completed by 1916. The new structure was 350 feet long and 144 feet at the widest point. Exterior walls were made of reinforced concrete 25 to 36 feet thick. They also had a 60-foot fire control tower to complete the battleship look. For firepower, each side of the fort was equipped with dual 6-inch guns and armored casements. The top deck was more reinforced concrete that mounted 2 turrets containing twin 14-inch guns and also held 3-inch anti-aircraft guns. The fortifications were tested under siege in 1942 when the Japanese began targeting the Manila harbor defenses. The fort endured bombing and shelling for months, taking damage to its anti-aircraft batteries and 6-inch guns. But Fort Drum continued to resist and return fire, even after the fall of Bataan on April 10, 1942, left the islands of the harbor defense as the last American forces in the Philippines. Unfortunately, the efforts of the men defending Fort Drum could not stop the Japanese onslaught, and the decision was made to surrender the remaining U.S. forces in the Philippines. The fort was never actually taken, and its main guns were still firing up until the announcement. The Japanese then manned all former American positions, including the concrete battleship. When American forces eventually recaptured Manila, Fort Drum was once again the last bastion of resistance, this time against the U.S. Knowing that the fort had been designed to resist all manner of bombings, the Americans came up with a grisly alternative to remove the Japanese. They poured a mixture of diesel oil and gasoline into the fort and burned everything out. The fire burned for several days, and the harbor was cleared of Japanese holdouts. The concrete battleship has never been reoccupied and still stands to this day. Like, share, and comment below. Maybe you've got a story or two about brilliant fortifications that have turned the tides of battle.